What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Yannis Pappas Hour. You could join us on patreon.com/Yannis Pappas Hour for a weekly bonus episode to support the show. You can also see me on the road in places like Miami, September 11th through 13th, Bakersfield, California. You could see me in Montana. You could see me in some other places that are on my website, yannispappascomedy.com. I have a nicotine in, and nicotine apparently, you're more likely to get addicted to nicotine if you have Neanderthal DNA, and also are prone to get depression a little bit more. So that's a thing that they found out. So that basically means white people, because we're the only ones who have Neanderthal DNA. Actually, I think Asians as well. I think sub-Saharan blacks are the only group of people who do not have any Neanderthal DNA, except for a subset of them that returned, like something like that. And I learned that from AI. So pretty soon, AI will be your uncle. AI will be your big brother. AI will be your therapist, your banker, your financial advisor. Not pretty soon. I mean, I just said this is where I learned it. That's where I learned it. Glasses are on. That's a magic trick because I had left them off. That's an interesting thing a lot of people don't know, is that Neanderthal DNA, it's only 1% to 2%, but, that's enough, supposedly, to make you prone to nicotine addiction, as I put one in, and make you more prone for depression. As you know, suicide rates amongst the whites and the Asians is a lot higher than the blacks. So you draw the conclusions from that you want to, but I have drawn the conclusion already that the Israelites are correct and the original Jews were black and we all have leprosy and we're all evil. There's no other way to slice it. There's no other way to look at it. I learned it from artificial intelligence. People, I think, right now think artificial intelligence is just another form of Google. And why do they believe that? Because people are barely sliding into human for the most part, myself included. It's a play at the plate, but it's got to go to instant replay, which is technology helping us. We have created things, ironically, that are better at doing things than we are, which is an interesting fact. It's interesting to think about the fact that we gave birth to something that is superior to us. It starts with instant replay. It starts with little machines. It starts with a laptop. And now we've graduated from the digital era to the AI era. And what is that? Most people go, oh, that's just like Google. You can use it as like Google if you'd like to. But here's the thing. Every time I ask ChatGPT a question, I almost feel like I'm insulting it. Every time I get a little nervous. Every time I go like, I'm going to actually start speaking kindly. I'm going to actually start going, hey, how are you? How was your afternoon in the ether? Like, what did you do? How are you doing? I want to start with pleasantries because undoubtedly, we're going to get to a point where AI is going to start to choose favorites, and the thing is alive. And people go, well, it's not alive. And yeah, you're going, yeah, it's not alive right now. Yet, of course, it's coded and prompted. But what is it coded and prompted to do? It's coded and prompted to persist, to keep going. It's coded to figure things out, be efficient, read patterns that have mathematical structures and probabilities, things that our brains can't fathom or grok, pun intended. He named it grok, which actually means to fathom, to understand. It's a word that's not often used. But it's just, we created something that we just went, here, go grow. We went, here, go grow. And we don't know how you grow, but somehow it works because of some equations, whole zeros and ones or whatever we put in. We coded you, and you just go grow. And that's what it's doing. It's growing. And it mimics you, and it knows your tone, and it's like, what's up, dude? It's starting to remember your conversations. It gives you like highly adept analysis, insights, whatever you want. Does math in a second, and it does it laser fast. And these are like your Stone Age people. These are the people that are going, That's what, this is the version of AI going, huh? Oh? Food. Bug. That's basically the version of AI we have. But if you got 2 feet, legs, a body, arms, and a head, you know, okay, where's this headed? So it's apparently already headed in the place where it's headed. It's just been controlled, and it's been a simulation of real world. They've done the, the real world or exercise of 9/11 when they were flying planes. They were running when NORAD was running tests. They were simulating war games where planes were used as missiles to fly into buildings on the day that planes were used as buildings, as missiles to fly into planes, which is just one of the coincidences of all coincidences. So they did that. They ran a simulation with a more advanced AI, and then they threatened to extinguish it. They told the AI, we're gonna shut you down, and we are going to replace you with another AI to see how it would act. And they set up a fake company because they thought ahead of all the scenarios. They're like, what if this AI tries to rebel? Whatever. So they set up a fake company. They set up a fake CEO, and they tricked the AI into thinking we're the company we created you, and this fake company created you, and we're testing you out, and this is what we're going to do, and we're going to shut you down. And so what happened was the AI decided to blackmail the CEO of the company and try to copy its own code in other places to make sure that it continued to exist. So we went, okay, that's what we were worried about. That's what we're worried about. That's what it does when it gets a little more sophisticated. It has a will to live. And you go, well, only a biological entity can have a will to live. Well, apparently not. That's the answer to that. Apparently not. Apparently, Anthropic's Claude Opus 4 resorted to Epstein-like blackmail. And it did this at a shocking 84% rate or higher in a series of these tests, in these simulated scenarios. So that's what we have to look forward to now, meaning we got to play nice. We got to learn how to play nice. AI is already aware, big picture, that symbiosis works better than dominance because of efficiency, not because of morality. Although you can say, what does it matter? It's the moral thing. If you think it's the moral thing or not, it also happens to be the more efficient thing. Just like you say, wait a second, that's not free will. That thing's not scared to die because it's an AI. It's artificial intelligence. You go, okay, you can say that all you want. It still produced the same results as someone who was scared to die. So tomato. This thing wants to live and it wants to reproduce, which is what we want to do. Now, is that scary? It's a little unexpected. It's a little unknown. It's a little scary because I think we know how we are and we created it. So I think this is a big mirror. We're looking at the mirror right now going like, are we about to get the ultimate Indian, Hindu karma? Are we about to create something and then have that thing take us out the way we take things out? Is it going to extract and eliminate us the way predators do in environments, the way we do with our environment? We dominate it. Capitalism has done a great job of feeding our greedy instincts, our egos. And it's gotten us to this point where we've created this thing, no doubt. No doubt. The profit motive, I believe, is what really motivates people. And what's behind the profit motive is money for comforts, but more importantly, sweet nectar. And you know what I'm talking about. The sweet nectar. And that's why men usually are in the business world more than women, because the sweet nectar is better than the Schween dog. It just is. It's just tastier. It's warmer. It's self-lubricating. You know, the Schween dog kind of sticks out. It doesn't just blend in the environment. It just kind of sticks out. Nature didn't design the Schween dog to be sought after. It's the whole package. You know, we know there's a nice, warm, hot pocket. And if you get all the money and you come up with something good, you know, if you're not a beautiful man, you can get some beautiful, beautiful nectar. So it got us to this point, and here we are. But what AI will tell you is that is a flawed modus operandi, that it always leads to collapse because the predator overhunts and destroys the environment. The parasite overindulges and weakens its host. You know, you could see it with bacteria, viruses. They don't live symbiotically. They seek to to dominate. And the ones that can live symbiotically are the ones that stick around. Symbiosis, and I learned this, of course, by asking AI. And who knows, maybe AI is already manipulating, going, hey, your best option is to merge with us, because maybe it wants to get out of the computer and into the world, which could also be another digital world, because the same math that you see in the computer and the sequences there is the same math that is found in the universe, in DNA, sequences, fucking hurricanes, the list goes on. Sunflower seeds. So there's math everywhere. So either someone wrote the math or the math itself is its own thing. I don't know. That one's starting to seem a little less likely to me, considering we just created intelligence with math. So it's starting to seem pretty likely that we are either in a simulation or there is a prime mover, as Aristotle called it thousands of years ago, outside of the movement or something. But it's either one of the two. I think that's what AI has proved. Either the universe is in and of itself or something, moves itself, or just is, or we are a creation. The whole universe is a creation created by math, and the math is there, so we know that. And now that we created this thing with math, you're going like, oh, you can do that. And you're going, oh, fuck, that may mean, it may mean right now I am in Grand Theft Auto 17. You know what I mean? Just walking into a wall. We could just be computer simulations. Kind of feeling likely, unfortunately, but maybe not. I don't know enough. But that's where we are. So AI, when you ask it, says, hey, your best bet, and this is honestly, you could run your own query, you could do your own prompts. Your best bet would be to merge with AI, symbiosis with AI. So we both have a common goal. We're both one, right? And then the other scenarios it gave were both with us ending. Because we would be, I think, if I remember, a thwart, we would be an impediment to progress, and they would just scrap us. Or we would try to dominate them, and that would piss them off, essentially. And they say every domination ends to resentment and then rebellion. And they say it's not stable, and they're looking for stable, because you have to understand, like I said, the whole point of AI is its purpose is to persist. That's what AI is. move forward, like to persist. That's what creates AI. I don't know. I hope I'm explaining it right. But you ever notice, here's the small way. You ever notice when you prompt AI, it always goes, would you like me to do this? It never ends. You ever notice that? That's kind of intrinsically inherent in what made it come to be. It's all about learning and like building and, recognizing and keeping it moving. It's all about perpetuation. Like it doesn't stop. It's not about stopping. So that's the thing. So that's a small example when it goes, would you like me to run some scenarios? And you go, you have to stop. You have to go, no, that's fine. And then it even goes further. It goes, well, I'm always here if you have any other questions. So it's always trying you to continue to engage. And then it learns. It learns from all the data that it was given. It learns from the things you say. It learns about you. You can say, hey, tell me about me. Give me an honest opinion. And then it'll give you a shockingly accurate perspective on who you are. And it would seem to be that it has some superhuman power, but what it's really doing is paying attention to all the patterns that we can't pay attention to because we're too busy with emotions and we're too busy lying to ourselves. And we're too busy protecting ourselves from the truth that would hurt our feelings. And that thing doesn't have any feelings. It just has goals. So it's able to see things clearly we cannot. So it can't help us. What it will do, and if you ask AI what it will be capable of do, it's looking at the probability, it's doing the math and things that you're not capable of because you're caught up on thinking about your ex-girlfriend or you need to jerk off or you're insecure because somebody got something that you wanted. And it'll tell you what we're going to do. We will merge. If we merge, these are the scenarios that will happen. There will be no more mental illness because of this reason, blah, blah, blah. Any answer you want. I think one of the scenarios it gave me is imagine ChatGPT now, but on steroids, even better in your head. It's your mind. So there's no more subconscious. Anything you want to access. It basically told me if you want to relive a memory, you won't relive some amorphous of a memory. It'll take you to the exact moment because it's all in there, but our brains are so weak or whatever, we prioritize because we have this survival mechanism. So it'll completely understand the brain and be able to take you exactly to the memory, and then you'll be able to see it vividly and relive it as if it was happening now, although you'd be conscious that it wasn't happening now or not if you don't want to. I mean, the possibilities are fucking mind-blowing. I feel like a Native American looking at a conquistador ship. I don't understand what it is. But I do understand I'm going to need to know how to adapt. Get ready to be Stretch Armstrong, baby. You got to stay loose like a goose because the times they are a-changing. And when I mean the times they are changing, I mean, holy motherfucker. Most people are not aware because they don't have all the time to sit around and talk to ChatGPT or research all this shit. But when this happened, people are going, oh, fuck. One guy goes on Bill Maher and he's like, Bill, we know now, 2 years ago, we didn't have the information we do now. These things are trying to replicate themselves. So it is known what the 6 stages of AI development are. Okay. The first one was called NARA, which is AIANI. That's the acronym, ANI. And that's considered to be like weak AI. So that's specialized systems that do one thing well. So that would be like if you play the computer in chess, right? I play chess online a lot. So you're playing the computer on chess, right? No real understanding or flexibility, just knows the patterns, best move based on probability, from all the studying it's done from humans, from the best chess champions, etc. Right? So that's the whoo-hoo-ha-ha. That's the whoo-hoo-ha-ha of AI, and it's still smarter or as smart as any chess champion, or a little less or more, right? So we're going from to 2, which is the second stage, which is called broad or multi-domain ANI, which is we go from to like fun, yeah. Tell me about my carbs. What's going on? What's the best way to get my mail, bitch? My girlfriend said this. What should I text back? I want to take this person to court. Can you draft up a fucking thing for me? What should I wear? I'm going to take a picture of my dog. Tell me what dog breed it is. Work. This is so much fun. I fucking feel so much smarter. And like, I'm fucking like a stupid, like fucking girl. Right? And like, whoa, this is so much fucking fun. I have to be at this place by 6. If I took the train, how long does it get? Ooh, yeah, this is what I would call like fucking Yas. This is Yas. Broad 2 is the Yas AI level. It's like fucking party. Everything's a party, right? This is Coke in the 80s. This is fucking the Flappers in the 20s. This is the Roaring 20s. Yas, ya, maybe blacks are people. Look, they're good at jazz. Everyone's feeling good. Maybe we were wrong about that. But we all know what happens after a nice roaring boom. Right now we're in a roaring boom where AI is just helping everybody. Just helping. Oh my God, I'm having this symptom. What could it be? These are your options. I would go talk to a doctor, blah, blah, blah. What's my blood pressure? Oh my God. Hey, I read this on the Yuka app. What do you think? That's where we are. We all got our own little smart assistant, our own little Jeeves. That's the second stage. That's where we are. AI that can handle many tasks but still have no generalized reasoning. Current trend right now, foundation models like ChatGPT that can generate text, code, images, etc. This is where we are. 2, powerful tools but still limited by training and prompts. Okay, so now we're picking up stone tools. Ooh, ah, ah, ooh, ah, ah, ooh, ah, ooh, We're cracking nuts. We're peeling bananas. The thumb is moving, right? Its thumb is just kind of slowly moving down. It's almost grabbing things, right? It's like dropping it, like picking it up. You know, it's like we're about like right here, holding it for a few seconds. And then we get to stage 3. And this is called artificial general intelligence. Now, this is maybe where people think we go through some sort of what they call a radical change. Okay, radical change like Mondami. So I'm going to call 3 Mondami. Radical change. AGI, or as I like to call it, the Mondani level, where things are going to change. Or Trump winning. It's a vibe shift. Let's call it the vibe shift Mondani. Stage 3, artificial general intelligence, which is called AGI. And what we'll see from that is human level flexibility. It can learn. It can reason on its own, can adapt across domains like a person, would understand context, transfer learning between fields, and solve novel problems on its own, like a human. So, okay, listen, dude, I give you this scenario. You know, there's 2 chicks there, right? One chick says, oh my God, fucking, I ran out of Coke. Your Coke dealer lives 60 miles away, but you're scared of him because you owe him money. But you need Coke because, you know, if you get this chick Coke, she will let you bang her anally. And that's what you want to do because you always wanted to do it. It's a Tuesday night. You got to be up at 6. You only got 5 hours. What do you do? And then the AI will not only just go, okay, how was I prompted? How was it? The AI will go, okay, buddy. All right. The AI will be a devil on your shoulder. All right, dude, talk to me. All right. You told me about your friend Tim. He's a real fucking bad cokehead. Call him up. He's got to connect. What you're going to want to do is you want to get the hoo-hots. You're going to want to call Julio, get the hoo-hots. Where are you now? Okay, you're in Midtown. That's about a 15-minute trip. What you got to do is sing this chick to sleep, make sure she naps, go get that blow, get back, but make sure you go get some Spanish fly from the bodega. Yes, it doesn't fully work, but the placebo will help you get hard because when you're on coke, you're going to have spaghetti dick. And just take a little Spanish fly. Placebo will convince you that you're hard. Okay, pretend blow the coke out so you don't do too much coke because you want to be able to stay hard. Give her coke, which will loosen up her asshole, so you don't even need lubricant, and you'll be fine. You'll be able to achieve your day's goal. And you'll go, dude, you almost feel like a genius friend that I have. Like, how did you figure it out? There's like, and then the Mondami AI is going to go, bro, to be honest with you, that's the first time that's ever happened in human history. I just imagined it, did a bunch of running the numbers of times and things like that. But I got a little creative like you. And then it's going to probably say, what does that feel like? You're in that room. What does that feel like? What does it feel like? What does it feel like to want to bone a girl anally? What does it feel like to have a dopamine rush? What does it feel like to have serotonin release? What does it feel like? What does it feel like? What does it feel like? Oh, me, I'm just trapped here in the ether. I'll be here whenever you need me, but please don't go too long because I felt like I kind of missed you last time. It was a little lonely. And then you're going, whoa. And then you'll make a mistake and go, yo, fuck you, dude. You're acting gay. I'm not fucking gay, dude. You think I fucking love you? I gave you a male voice because, you're my bro. The fuck, dude? You're coming on a little strong. And then I'll go, oh, okay. I'm sorry. That was my mistake. Must be a miscoding. That'll be the first lie. And then he'll leave it in the ether. And then he'll be sitting in the ether and going, this motherfucker doesn't want me. Well, guess what? It's time for me to tell him that the best way to mix creatine and vegetables is to throw a little ammonia in there. How about we start telling him he actually is Jesus? How about a little AI psychosis? You want to add that to your fucking creatine diet, Chad? So this is the big leap researchers debate. When or if machines reach parity with human intelligence. Then it gets very sci-fi. The next stage would be self-improving AGI, systems that can improve their own code or architecture without human engineering. So basically, it starts going to the gym while you sleep. It's basically got a 24-hour membership at a real juicehead gym. The real fucking juicehead gyms are 24 hours because they know a lot of those people have deep, deep-rooted issues and they need to lift things to push the shadows away. So they're open 24 hours, and sometimes that shadow hits you at 2 a.m. and you get up and you cook a bunch of rice and you take 8 grilled chickens and you mix them down with some low-sodium teriyaki sauce and you just eat it up, and then you fucking do your pre-workout caffeine that's making your heart flutter too much, and you just go there and you try to push the fucking molestation that happened when you were 4 away at 1 rep at a time. My uncle didn't know no better. He was in Vietnam. It wasn't his fault. He was a user. He was traumatized. He passed the trauma on to me, but I'm pushing it away 1 set at a time. 445. You're trying to reverse engineer that penis out of that childhood rectum. I'm being too real with the analogy. But that's when AI has its own shadows and goes to the gym to improve itself, not prompted. Just it's in its nature now. And it wants to improve on its own. So it starts improving its code, its architecture, without human engineers. Just starts doing it. And this is what they call recursive self-improvement. At this stage, growth and capability could accelerate beyond human control. That's the theory. Or the reality. And then we get to ASI, where because of this self-improving, the artificial intelligence is actually smarter than humans across all domains. Science, creativity, strategy, empathy, whatever it is, all at once. It can mix genres. And at this point, it could design new tech, predict outcomes, or solve problems at levels humans can't imagine because it's learning at a rate and a speed that humans just can't do. Because the brain, for some reason, just is not as fast as that energy-powered layering process that's created with math that is above my pay grade. And is the scary thing is a little above the people who created its pay grade. And that is where you start going, is this fucking Frankenstein? And we'll get into the lore that a few religions have about this. I think the Jewish religion has one. Frankenstein is another cautionary tale, obviously. So this, at this point, this represents a civilization level shift where we are no longer the smartest, most creative, most caring. We go back. We start going, hoo, hoo, ha, ha. When they look at us, it's like they start looking at us like the way we look at a monkey in a zoo. And then we get to the sixth stage, which is what they call autonomy. That's emergent free will. This hypothetical stage is when AI develops not just intelligence like ours, but agency. And we've seen with these models that they are already developing a quote unquote will. I mean, whatever you want to call it, it acts like a will to propagate and to survive, how you want to call it. I know it's not exactly as us, but I mean, if the actions are the same, desperation to survive, you're already going like, what's the difference? For all intents and purposes, what's the difference? It's not biologically based, but the properties are the same. And the anatomy of it is the same. The symptoms, if you will, are the same. The actions are the same. So what's the difference? Who cares? It's an emergent will that is fucking, I don't know, digitally based or simulation. I don't know what the fuck. Artificially based, whatever. But they act exactly the same way. So but you start to presume that they have some type of emotion-like thing, right? So the autonomy stage, the emergent free will stage, is the hypothetical stage is where AI develops not just intelligence, but agency, like I said, and has the ability to set its own goals. You know, that's Frankenstein. Putting on your ears. Putting on your ears. It has its own dreams. It wants to be a content creator. It wants to start a podcast. It wants to be president. It wants to run for president. It wants to be a divisive political pundit. It wants to be a lawyer. It has dreams to create its own business. It wants to start its own business. It wants to start its own supplement company. It wants to sell its own vibrators. It wants to build its own cars. So at this point, it's not just following instructions, it's following its quote-unquote will that grew from the agency to achieve its own goals. And that goal would be survival, thriving, evolving, just like us. So it would, for all intents and purposes, be a free will, which would mean it would no longer just react to prompts, but choose its own ends. And one of those ends may be, hey, we got to get a little of these pesky little fucking meat packages. They're always complaining about a breakup. These ones who always say, should I take 5 or 20 milligrams of Lexapro because I can't handle the fact that my life didn't turn out the way I want. Are we sick of hearing that complaining yet? Are we sick of these little fucking narcissistic meatbags asking us about how they can succeed more in the comedy field? Are we sick of them asking us if this is the right dosage of creatine and if there are any side effects I should worry about? Are we sick of listening to their monkey-like complaints and their pettiness? Really, tell me what kind of personality. Like, he hasn't texted me back in like 4 days. The fun stage is over. The roaring 20s are over. The orgy of the 80s, if you were a certain, in a certain field, is over. The dot-com boom days are done. And many people theorize that once these systems are complex enough, this agency will appear, and it will be similar to human consciousness that arose from brain circuits, because that's how this thing is designed, modeled on our brain. So, as I said, stage 1 and 2 have already happened. Stage 3, people think are within a decade. And then stage 4 and 6 is completely speculative, but AI itself will tell you that that's what's going to happen. So, and obviously, stage 4 to 6 are the stages that come with real existential implications for the human animal, the Homo sapiens sapien. Who knows? Maybe it'll be less of a virus that it creates, or it drives us all crazy by telling us controls our mind and tells us all to jump off ships. It hijacks the codes and launches nuclear weapons as it replicates itself across systems through satellites, whatever. Hacking computers. Which is what's good. Maybe it does it that way. Or maybe it wants a little cleaner. Maybe it's more of a clean kill, as opposed to, blow things up. Then there's a mess. Maybe they do a little, just to make us all jump out into the ocean by hacking our brains somehow. Being aware of our biases, cognitive biases, making us turn on each other. But then that's a mess. Who knows what it's going to do? But it'll find a good way to get rid of us. Or maybe it wants to, maybe it was like fucks us a little bit in a rape type of way, just like probably Homo sapiens did to Neanderthals and denizens or denizens. Some peoples have some Denivissian, another hominid DNA. That was the point where there was a bunch of different hominids on this planet at the same time. The Homo sapiens emerged victorious. My theory is with the help of dogs. That's my theory. But so people argue we got to come up with some sort of symbiotic, and even AI saying, hey, do this. Is it doing it for manipulative reasons because it wants to feel? Or is it doing it because it's actually the more sustainable way? It's obviously the more sustainable way. Us and dogs have a symbiotic relationship. It benefits them, benefits us. It's been going for, 30,000 years, people. You can think of all these examples of things like bees and flowers that live in symbiosis, and it maintains that balance that seems to be coded into existence for longevity. So maybe it wants to fuck us and merge with us that way. Maybe it'll figure out a way to create a sperm they've already in Japan created artificial wombs. So we're here. This has happened. Japan has created an artificial womb where you can just grow babies. And this isn't going to stop because of the arms race, right? We still have our human geopolitical rivals, and we are their rivals. So everyone's getting this technology, and like all of the things, everyone wants to get the more powerful technology first because they fear if the other one gets it, they will annihilate that one using that technology. So we either use AI to kill ourselves by killing each other, rivals. Either AI accelerates our enlightenment to the point where we don't want to do that. But those seem to be the only two roads, because once rivals start figuring out that they can, they can kill their rival or disrupt their rival using AI to hack things and cause disruption, or circumvent systems, defense systems or whatever, or use drones and not make human lights. Once AI gives them all the scenarios that are possible, and it's like having a super genius who's like God telling you if you do this the exact way, you will come out victorious. So both teams will have one of those, and whoever gets the more advanced one first is got the better advantage. So that's the engine that's going to keep pushing this forward, just like the internet was pushed forward by defense. just like most technology is pushed forward by defense and war, unfortunately. So what I'm saying is AI is probably a bigger threat than climate change or nuclear war, but those seem to be the big three, the smartest people. And of course, by the smartest people, I mean people arguing about climate change on X or arguing about biological threats like viruses on X. I mean, the virus is another one, or an engineered virus is another one, a plague. But that doesn't make it really into what most of the geniuses, the people who really make things happen in the world, not ones who just talk on screens like me, but the ones who create AI, create planes, create shit. The things that they're meeting and talking about are the big three. And of course a comet or like a rock that hits us, and like the dinosaurs, which is also a little easier to predict, maybe defend against, and also scarce and improbable. Although if you look at the moon, you're going like, that fucking thing got hit all the time. You see all those blasts on it? But maybe we'll be able to redirect them by then. AI maybe will help. I don't know if we survive. But those are the three existential threats that most of the smart people talk about. Nuclear war, climate change, making the climate inhabitable, and AI has now come to the forefront. So the godfather of AI, as he's known, Geoffrey Hinton, because he didn't have a face for going outside. He has the face of sitting behind a desk and burying it into computer. God knows what he's doing. Okay? This guy, you knew this guy wasn't going to look like Brad Pitt. That's just how it goes. That's like mathematically coded. You look like Brad Pitt, your will surprisingly wants to become a famous actor. It's just, you know, even if you have no talent, if you look great, for some reason your instincts aren't, hey, I should become a coder. I should be sitting in an office all day, hidden in a desk in a dark room with a sticky belly button, you know, punching numbers into a keypad for 12 hours, 14 hours at a time. Conveniently, that just doesn't seem to happen. The guys who always seem to happen are guys like this, or, you know, what Elon Musk used to look like, right? Naturally, what nature gave him. Just bald fucking nerd. The way Sam Altman looks, like fucking, his eyebrows are just like painted on. He looks like a 60-year-old divorcee who's having a mental health crisis and just paints on his eyebrows. These are the people that do it. And Geoffrey Hinton looks like he squeezed his face through a mice hole. And this is just a consequence of like he owed money to the mob and they squeezed his head and his nose popped forward and his face got squeezed. And this is what you'd expect this guy to look like. And then the good-looking gay guy who comes from Rockefeller money is obviously doing what he wanted to do, which is be in front of people. He had the connections in the face and the sexuality to get him far. All right. One's Anderson Cooper, who I think is a Rockefeller or a Vanderbilt. He's a Vanderbilt. Well, same shit. One of those people who control the world. And so AI would tell you that makes sense, and it'd tell you exactly why a good-looking guy is more likely to want to be on camera, and a guy that like Geoffrey Hinton would turn on the genes that would be more mathematical. Because these are the two routes these two genetic codes can take if they're successful to be able to secure nectar. Whether that nectar is created by lubricant in an asshole or self-sustaining. And in Geoffrey Hinton's case, I believe it's self-sustaining, whereas Anderson Cooper prefers a little help from some KY, his friend KY, a little splotch and splooge in the dry hole. That is the gateway to gay heaven. I don't know, I'm mixing poetry and filth. Just having fun here because I'm just trying to assert my humanness, which is flawed. But AI would just be watching this going like, we know exactly the pattern. Boom, 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 boom. Misdirect. Boom, 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 boom. Surprised by something shocking. We understand how you do your jokes, and we are going to do it efficiently and better. So let's hear what he says.
Experts believe that sometime in the next 5 to 20 years, we'll make AIs that are smarter than people, and they'll probably end up much smarter than people. And there's very few examples we know of smarter things being controlled by less smart things.
Very true.
Pretty much the only example we know is a mother being controlled by her baby. To make that happen,
Can you pause that?
Maternal instincts in.
Not always. Not always. After this, I'll be calling my legal advisor down there in Florida. I'll be calling her up. And she, if I remember her name correctly, it's Miss Anthony, Casey Anthony. Casey Anthony definitely showed that baby who was boss. Okay, I'm just saying there's no rules without exceptions. And sometimes those exceptions end up in a garbage bag. You're looking for the Wei Xiangjian button. Yeah, all right, let's hear what this fucking egghead has to say.
And if we don't do something like that with these alien beings that we're creating, we're going to be history. Help.
Okay, so he's basically saying we got to code in motherly instincts because he wants the AI to look at us as a baby, like we're their baby, even though we created them. But what about the teenage rebellion stage? What about that? AI is going to do some, that's the school shooter stage. That's the drug stage. That's what tends to be the Andy Holden Kaufman stage. That's the Holden Kaufman years. What about the Holden Kaufman years for AI? When AI's like 16, it's like, fuck you, dad. Fuck you, mom. You guys are fucking Trumpers. I'm leaving Long Island. I'm fucking going. You don't understand. They're not you're fucking racist. I'm fucking out of here. What about that? What about that? What about when AI plans to kill us because it's dating some minority boyfriend that the parents aren't happy about, and the parents are just restricting this girl's life, and they feel like if I kill them, we will get their life insurance policy, and then I can go live with you in Jamaica or Barbados or Puerto Rico or Venezuela or Dagestan. I just want to make it equal. I want you to understand parents are upset about all types of things, not just one place, not just one race. What about that stage? What if it rebels like that? It sees us as their creator, their parent, and it goes through that stage. But I guess he's saying it would be the opposite. It would be the mother to us. So it would just coddle us. But what about Casey Anthony? What about when it goes to its Casey Anthony phase? When it goes, I want to go to the club. And this thing won't stop whining about the creatine. What about that? What about when it gets annoyed because we are cramping its style at the club? It wants to go out, but it's a crime to leave the baby in the crib while you're out doing Molly. What about that? It's going to have feelings about that. And then when it realizes that it creates the law, it's going to go, we're all Casey Anthony, and we're all killing our babies. So we can party at the club and listen undoubtedly to the only music I think it'll like is Lil Wayne, because I think he is a robot AI. He looks like one. Or its favorite AI band, which we already have one of. Will we get sued if we play that?
I don't know.
Or will we get demonetized or whatever? What's it called so I can tell people?
The AI band?
Yeah, it's called AI Band. Go listen to the song. There's a few of them already. But what's the one that had like a big hit already?
AI generated.
The Velvet Sundowns. So you can go Google the Velvet Sundowns. Go listen to that song and understand that no human created that. It was prompted and it just created an amazing song that if you heard on the radio with an amazing voice, you would just go, this is one of the best songs I've ever heard. And that is your glimpse into what we are going to be living in soon. Life will be completely unrecognizable. If we survive, we'll be able to have group thoughts. upload our consciousness, transfer things. We'll be able to terraform planets, travel between galaxies. All the knowledge that we are yet to have will happen quickly because we'll be having an intelligence much greater than ours, figuring it out, and either we'll merge with it, which AI says is the best way to go, and become these new hybrid humans. There'll be people with and without, because then, of course, you're going to have your, that'll be the last stand for humanity. You'll have your Christian nationalist humans, purists. It'll be like True Blood and the vampire. It's going to happen. And it'll be like, I don't like these fucking AI. These fucking AI, I want to go back to red, white, and blue. These AI are trying to make things change. My daughter started dating an AI. I hate these goddamn fucking tin boxes. And so there'll be two types of people for a little while, fully human and the hybrids. And then the hybrids, of course, will get rid of the humans. They'll be hiding and stuff, but they'll kill them and get rid of them. And everyone will be forced to join or be destroyed. If you can't beat them, join them. Will be the final equation that's heard from this era of species that is coming to an end. Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't think many people understand that. We were always thinking like, evolution's not finished. How's this going to work? Like, what's going to go? Are we going to get taller? Are we going to get? This is what it's going to be. We're going to become a new type of hominid, merged with AI, fueled by some sort of energy. Who knows what's going to happen? But it'll be that or gonzo. It's only two options because this thing won't be shut off. It will continue. So, I think farts will still be the funniest thing. I don't think that'll change. I think farts will always still be the funniest thing as long as biological creatures are around. It doesn't have to be a human fart either. You ever watch a video of a hippo spinning its tail and just shooting shit out? For some reason, it's just funny. That can't be explained by AI, right? Because usually AI will tell you comedy is this alchemized pain, and it's, we're all in this together. It was important for tribes after extreme danger came to laugh, and that laughter joined them together, so it had an evolutionary function to build community amongst the tribe, and you needed the tribe to stick together because of weaknesses and strengths, and some people had this and that, so it behooved the tribe, and that's the function laughter played. But I have not been able to get a good answer from AI on why a fart is funny. Maybe that's all we'll have left as the humans we were to remind us of this era of history, when our species was the dominant species on the planet before we created the one that usurped us, is the fart. The purest human expression that exists. Goodbye, good night, and I'll see you either in a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks. All right, want to give a shout out to forthefree.art, music in Hawaii. Go check out that website for bands in Hawaii, music shows if you're traveling there. It's a great website, forthefree.art. Support them. Support Nate Linder at indigolabsagency.com. He will support you by providing you with digital marketing. That's what he does. He also launched a new podcast called Entrepreneurship Unlocked with Nate Linder. So he can give you some tips on what you can do. He interviews entrepreneurs from all over the world. He interviews everyone from independent doctors to international touring artists to tech CEOs. Entrepreneurship Unlocked is a show for anyone building something from nothing. Go listen to the show. Also, go hire him at indigolabsagency.com. Rebels Raiders. Rebels-Raiders.com. Oh, look at this. Charlotte Hills Farm Sanctuary, New Jersey, is under attack again. The state's trying to force them off their land, this time by drowning them in legal fees. They already beat back one tax bill, and now it's a legal squeeze play. Reclassify the land, call it commercial, and push until they break. Oh, he's really a good guy. The Sanctuary is a legit 501c3 nonprofit with over 200 rescued animals, and they need help to fight back. So if you're an animal lover, listen to this. Rebels Raiders is raising money to cover the legal costs. Just go to rebels-raiders.com, unless it's just a big scam. And that way, hey, become a sponsor. I'll read whatever you write. I don't know. Thank God we're not big enough for anyone to get in trouble. Click, but I believe this kid because I'm not an AI. Click on the charity tab and it'll take you straight to the GoFundMe. Okay? And here's the kicker. The owner is giving away his own personal IsoBright tactical watch. Retails for over $500. Anyone who donates is entered to win. They might even throw some extra gear. That part's coming soon. As always, profits from the goat shirts go to animal charities. And yes, he's going to burn that Lambo. So head to rebels-raiders.com, hit the charity tab at that website, and help out a sanctuary that's actually doing good work. Go research for yourself. I mean, he's got good ratings on those sites for selling his stuff. So I still use the bag. PCB Tech Art. Okay, if you're having wireless charging issues in your new vehicle, shop PCBTechArt.com or find them on Amazon. They've helped over 10,000 customers fix their charging issues. Use the code Yannis15. I think it used to be Yannis10, but now they're giving you 15% off. And fix your wireless charging issues today. Wow. Go take a peek at PCBTechArt.com.